A warm welcome to this today's English class. Good afternoon, students. How are you all? Hope you are doing fine, staying safe at home, obeying the rules and regulations given by our government. Right. Preparing your lessons well? Yes, prepare your lessons well. Now, in the previous class, we have been discussing about how to make notes. Right. Today, as I said, I'll be just giving you. It is also a revision of what you have already studied. It is not a new thing. Sentence pattern, right? Sentence pattern. So you have got the portion from the text for this class, but since I felt that after completing this, we can proceed to this. So the next Monday's portion, the same screenshot that you have got today in your group, in our group, that is the book passage. Again, you won't get it for English because it is just a continuation, I would say. And so the same first unit, first lesson will be dealing in that next class. By today, I'll finish off that sentence pattern. And that one small incident I will tell you from Abraham Lincoln's life. That is once, one of his friend came to him. It is also just teaching you a good moral that we have to follow in our life. So, I don't know whether Abraham Lincoln followed it, but he advised his friend to do it. Once, one man, his close friend, came to him and asked him to give a solution for his problem. The problem of him is that he has a small misunderstanding. He has a grudge he has a hatred towards his enemy, one of his enemy. And he has done something to him which he couldn't tolerate. He couldn't express what he has to do to get rid of that anger, that much hatred, envy, violent he has towards him. And he came to him and asked Abraham Lincoln's guidance how to take revenge on him. How to take revenge on him. Whether to kill him, to file a case against him in the court, or punish his family, wife and children, or spoiling his wealth. All these things that man asked Abraham Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln very coolly said, see, you do one thing. You need not go and fight against him directly. You do one thing. You take a piece of paper and use all the express your views in high language. That is, whether it is a good one or a bad one, whatever it is, your anger must be expressed in the paper so that what all the things you wanted to tell him must get a place in the paper. And after that, you bring that letter to me, he said. You need not show it to me, but you bring the letter in an envelope. And this man heard his advice and went home. He took a piece of paper and he scolded him like anything. But all the things he wanted to express, he wrote in that paper. He felt that paper is not sufficient. He took another paper and he wrote again and again till his anger get cooled. Now his mind is free because he wrote everything in the paper. Now it must reach that enemy, right? So he just took it to Abraham Lincoln in an envelope. Abraham Lincoln just got the paper in his hand and asked him, have you written? Yes. How much time you took? All the things that you wanted to express, you have told him, right? In in the language in which you wanted to express, you have written, yes, everything is perfect. But Abraham Lincoln did not read it. He just told him, you just have it in your hand. At once that friend asked, shall I go and post it in the post office? He said, no, you need not post it. Do one thing, you just tear it into pieces. Tear it into pieces and throw it in the dustbin. Because what you wanted to tell to him, you have expressed in the paper. Now, your mind is relaxed. You are very free. Now, all the grudge that you have towards that particular man is gone, I hope. So, again, you need not bother about that. Leave it off. Leave it off. Forgive him. Forgiveness is a divine quality. So, Abraham Lincoln has that quality in his life. Right, children? After hearing this, will you forgive your friends? When they do some mistakes, you'll be just pulling up a long face and sitting there in the class without talking for 1 week, 2 weeks. If they get something which you don't expect, you'll be like that. You'll be sitting in the class without talking, without expressing. Forgive them. Learn to have the good, inculcate the good quality of forgiveness in your life. Right? Right. Let us come back to the lesson. Sentence pattern. I will finish it off very quickly, since you have learned that Monica, Joel sir, Praveen sir, Rajesh, everybody has taught you well this sentence pattern, right? Now, I will give you a sentence. I bought a book. And if you take this sentence, you have to analyze it. What are the things that are there? There is a word, I bought a book. What about this I? See, if you take a sentence, mostly at the first part of the sentence, there will be a noun. That parts of speech, one of the part of speech, that is noun. Noun, verb, adjective, adverb, pronoun, preposition, conjunction, interjection. That is the part of speeches. Noun is the name of a person, place, or thing. Verb is the action done by the noun, subject. Adjective is a word which qualifies the noun. Right? Noun, verb, adjective. Adjective is a word which qualifies the noun. I saw a beautiful girl. That girl is a noun. The word beautiful says something more about the girl. So beautiful is adjective, right? Then noun, verb, adjective, adverb is a word which qualifies a verb. She sings sweetly. She sings is a sentence. She sings. It qualifies something more about the song, how she sings. It is an adverb. Noun, verb, adjective, adverb. Pronoun. Pronoun is a word which is used instead of a noun. Again and again, I saw Rama went to school. Rama ran in the playground. Rama broke his leg. Rama went to school. He played in the ground. He broke his. So instead of saying Rama, 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 we use the pronoun he. He, she, it, they, these are the pronouns, right? So now a word which is used in the place of a noun is called a pronoun. Preposition is a word which is used to give a complete meaning that nouns, there's connection between that noun and the sentence. He sits on the bench. He sits on the bench. There is a cat on the wall. I write with pencil. So that is the preposition. I write with pencil. Preposition. Conjunction is the connecting word. It's a word, connecting word. And, so, but, and so, all these things. And interjection is a word which expresses a sudden feeling. Oh, ah, hurrah, all these things. So this, we'll finish that. Listen, children. So if you take that first part, mostly I said the subject comes in the first part of the sentence. And it will be a noun. I told you the noun is the name of a person, place or thing. Noun is a name of a person, place or thing. So here I is the name of a person. So I is the subject. So how to identify as subject in a sentence is mostly, not always, it comes in the first part of the sentence. For example, that is a sentence. See, yesterday I bought a book. Here you cannot say that yesterday is the subject because I told you that it comes in the first part of the sentence. It is coming in the first part. You cannot say that it is a subject. That is why I use the word mostly. Mostly it comes in the first part of the sentence and it will be a noun, and yesterday is not a noun. And about that particular noun, something will be said in a sentence. About that particular noun, something will be said in a sentence. So this I is the subject. I think you have no doubt about it. And what did this I does? It is buying. The action done by the subject is called the verb. The action done by the subject is called the verb. So, this buying, bought is the verb. Now, keeping that subject and verb in mind, if you ask a question, whom or what or whom, that answer is an object. If you get an answer for what or whom, that answer to the question what or whom is the object. Now, what did I buy? What did I buy? A book. So, the book is an object. Right, children? So, the pattern of this sentence is yes, we, O. Very clear? This is what you have learnt last year? Year before last? Yes. Right. Rama killed a cat. What about Rama? Is the subject. What is the action done by him? Killing. Whom did he kill? A cat. So this is also SVO. Understand, children? To find out SVO. Now, in a sentence, if you get an answer for both whom and what, in a sentence, if you get an answer for both whom and what, I will give you an example. Rani, you can write presented. Presented me a book. Rani presented me a book. What about Rani? Subject. What about this presented? The action done by Rani. Subject. It is a verb. Now ask a question. Whom did Rani present a book? Whom did Rani present a book? To me. So it is an answer because you are getting an answer for whom. What did Rani present me? What did Rani present me? A book. So in the same sentence, you are getting an answer for both whom and what. In that case, the first one you write as IO and the next one DO. The sentence pattern of it is, SB, IO, DO. You want to find out? Any doubt in it, children? No. One more examples. She presented me, she gave me a book. Next one. I'll write small simple sentences because into school. I went to school. What about this? I subject. Went is the verb. Where did I go? Where did I go? To school. Where? I got up at 5 p.m. I is the subject. Got up. Verb. When did I get up? At 5 p.m. When? Next sentence. She sings well. She is the subject. Sings is the verb. How does she sing? Well. How? I went to buy fruits. Subject I. Buy is the verb. Why did I go to buy fruits? Why? So, in sentences, if you get an answer for where, when, how, or why, sometimes you may get an answer for only one, sometimes you will get for two, sometimes you will get for three even. So, that is an example of adjunct. Adjunct. A we will say. So, the sentence pattern is SB, A. You understand? Right. In a sentence, if you get an answer for where, when, how, or why, that is an example for adjunct. Now, another one. These are the major things. And if you know to analyze this, you can find out the remaining things in a sentence. Right. The next one is, listen, I told you, I bought a book. If you get an answer for whom or what, it is an object. Now listen, I will give you another example. She is a singer. She is a singer. He became a teacher. He became a teacher or he became a doctor. If you analyze this sentence, she is subject, no doubt in it. Is the verb. A singer is, what is she? What is she? Singer. So as I said, it is an answer to that question. What? What? So it is object, as I have said earlier, right? So now you may ask a question. Each and every time you will say something and confusing us. No. Just listen. So far what we have learned is the answer to the question whom or what is an object. Now listen. This is, as I said, it is SVO. Now, next one. He, subject, became is the verb. A teacher. It is also an what did he become? What did he become? A teacher. Now, but it is not an object. Then what it is? If you get is an auxiliary verb. What are the auxiliary verb? Be form of the verb. The different stages of be. Am, is, are, was, were. W-E-R-A. If you get one among this word as verb, am, is, are, was, were, are, or become as a verb, the answer to the question whom and what is not an object, it is a complement. So the sentence pattern is yes, we, see. Right? If you get an answer for the question whom or what after the auxiliary verbs, it is complement, not an object. Now children, after writing this, you have a doubt whether it is object or complement. Do one thing, change that sentence into passive voice. You have learnt active voice, passive voice. So in that active voice, passive voice, you have learned that the object of the active voice will become the subject of the passive voice. Now listen, I bought a book. A book was bought by me. Object of the active voice will become the subject of the passive voice. So if it is an object, you can very well change it into passive voice. Right? If it is an object, you can change it into passive voice. If it is not an object, you cannot change it into passive voice. Right? Now we have come to the conclusion that it is a, you have a doubt that it is an object or a complement. Now just clear it off. Take this singer as an object and change this sentence into passive voice. A singer is she. A singer is she. It's a meaningful sentence. Can you change it into passive voice? No. So it is surely an object. Then next one. A teacher became he. A teacher he became. No. You cannot change. So this is surely an complement. So complement is a word which comes to complete the meaning in a sentence. And how to identify it is, the verb will be either be form of the verb or became, or a word which comes to complete the meaning of the sentence. I will give you an example. Mohan got his shoes wet. Mohan got his shoes wet. What about Mohan? Subject. Got, verb. His shoes, what did he get? His shoes. He got his shoes. So it is an object. What about wet? You are not getting an answer for any of this. Either object or adjunct. But it has come there to complete the meaning of the sentence. So it is also a complement. It is called a complement. So how to identify this complement in a sentence? Either the be form of the verb comes, or become will be the verb of the sentence, or a word which comes to complete the meaning in a sentence. Alright children? Right, you know to, I hope you know to identify it. You want any example for it? Now shall I give you some sentences and you have to make that as a little more clear. And sometimes, you know, listen here. Yesterday, he bought a book. Yesterday, he bought a pen. What is the pattern of this sentence? Yesterday is when. When. Answer to the question when is A. A, yes, B, O. Right? If you get this yesterday in that side, he bought a pen yesterday. Yes, V, O, A. Right? Yesterday she presented me a book. A, S, B, I, O, D, O. She presented me a book yesterday. SVIODOA. Hope you understand. One more examples for this. I'll ask you. Listen, children. They are players. What is the pattern? Tell me. They are players. The verb is are. Be form of the verb. So, yes, we see. I gave a pen to him. I gave him a pen. SVIODO. They granted leave. They granted me leave. SVIODO. Then he handles the computer. He handles the computer. SVO. She dances well. SVA. One more sentence. Raja talks. Raja talks. What is the pattern of it? Yes, B. Right? In your question paper, either they may ask to write a sentence of your own in the given pattern, or they will ask you to analyze that sentence which is given in the question paper to find out what pattern it is. Right? Hope you will be just got the what I have told you, but if you have any doubt, we will clear it off. Find out some sentences and try to analyze it. And if you couldn't do it, ask in the discussion class. And if time permits, if you get a chance to come back to our classes and have our regular routine work, I'll just clarify your doubts if you have anything here. So for the next class, you have to bring that lesson I will be teaching. That our first prose lesson, and before that, tomorrow itself, I think by today itself you will get yesterday itself you might have got the screenshot of it, but since I have promised you that I will be teaching this in this classes, so I taught it, and we will go to the lesson from the next class. Okay, children? Right.